And there we go. So over to you, Toastmasters Yasin.
I'm completely audible. Welcome, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, to the online 87th meeting of Advanced Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club. I'm Toastmaster Yasin Padma, your Sergeant at Arms of the day. Before we begin, just a few quick reminders to ensure a smooth and enjoyable meeting. Please keep your microphones on mute unless you're speaking. If you're presenting, feel free to turn on your camera to engage with the audience. Use the chat box to share encouragement or ask questions, or you can raise hand if you want to speak up in between. In District 122 meetings, we do not talk about religion, sex, and politics. Let's start this meeting with a great enthusiasm and make it another great one. With this, I would like to hand over the floor to the acting president, DTM Talha bin Hamid. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Yes, it does turn out that I'm the presiding officer today, in absence of approximately 35 other people who preceded me in the hierarchy. So, okay. So it is my job to welcome everyone once again and to brief a little bit about the club. So Quantum Leap Advanced Toastmasters Club is a Toastmasters club, first and foremost. Toastmasters is a worldwide organization aimed at improving communication and leadership skills for its members. It exercises that mandate through its education program, pathways, and its protocols, which govern the meetings and proceedings of every Toastmasters club. Quantum Leap is an advanced club, which means that it does place some restrictions upon its membership, at least at the time of its charter. And it does feature some segments that set it apart. The first segment is our scientific keynote with Q&A that features in every meeting. We also have a word exclusive evaluation format, which builds upon what we already have in Toastmasters in meaningful ways, and that also is an invention of our keynote speaker today, D.T. Sudarshan. And so before starting the meeting proper, it is obligatory to take the introduction of guests. So Toastmaster Shahryar Khan, please introduce yourself.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so hello everyone. So I joined Toastmasters around a month ago, and so far I haven't been I haven't engaged much with the Toastmasters, and today I'm looking forward to this meeting. So that's from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shahryar, for joining. Toastmaster Latif.
Hello, everyone. Toastmaster Latif with you. I'm from Bhavan's Toastmasters Club, Karachi Toastmasters Club, and wherever I can use my membership of Toastmasters, I pop in for learning more and more in any other of the Toastmasters meeting. Today being Saturday, I'm off, so I'm with you all. Thank you very much for inviting, and hopefully we'll have an interacting section of table topic. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Latif. You'll be delighted to learn that you have been awarded quite a few additional roles in addition to Table Toastmaster. Have a look at the agenda, and same goes for you, DTM Sudarshan.
No, sir, I'm working, sir.
Well, now you're trapped. But you know,
when I say off means I'm at home.
They won't require much of your time, so don't worry. Mr. Habib Dilshah, are you a Toastmaster? Please introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Habibullah Dilshad. I am working with Khalif Foods Limited as a manager, finance. I am not a Toastmaster. I joined this as a guest. Thank you so much for providing me this opportunity.
Great,
Thank you.
great to have you, Mr. Habib, and hopefully the meeting will be worthwhile for you. Toastmaster Kosovo, or soon to be Toastmaster Kosovo.
Hi. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Walaikum salam.
I am a Toastmaster.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm Kausar Lodhi. I'm in Bahawalpur. I'm working with the city school. And I have been with the Toastmaster for last 1 year or maybe more than 1 year. And I'm so proud, but I regret that I miss most of the meetings because of my busy schedule. So I like the agenda and the topic of this meeting. So I put on the alarm that I must attend it because I need to know about these things.
Great, great.
So thank you so
Great.
much.
Great, Toastmaster Kosovo. Yes, apologies for the confusion. You have been a Toastmaster. You're just looking for another club to join. So thank you so much for joining us today. And as a Toastmaster of the day, it is my job to introduce the theme of the meeting, which is, of course, based around our keynote theme, which is all about the environmental disaster we are going through. And it is manifesting itself in so many different ways. So the keynote will talk about desertification, which is a genuine phenomenon that is happening. But at the same time, ironically, the world sea levels are also rising. So on a very cursory reading, one would think that rising water levels should be helpful and prevent desertification. But unfortunately, this is where we find out that the system, the ecology, does not work like that. And instead, there has to be a delicate balance between everything. And once that balance is disturbed, no matter what happens, who does what, things start to go downhill. So this will be our theme of the meeting. Our theme is, of course, the looming desert. And it's not just a desert in terms of sand and dryness, because many areas, many populated areas in the world are already dry and desert-like. But the rising temperatures that will make the conditions unbearable. So it is estimated that by 2050, if not earlier, by the way, it seems to me that now we'll get there earlier because the United Nations has said so. We have missed our climate targets. So by 2050, it will become next to impossible to perform Hajj and Umrah in the Makkah and the Hijaz area. The areas will become so hot, even at night. And something will need to be done, of course. They've got oil and all the money in the world. So perhaps they will work upon somehow climate conditioning that patch of land, introducing some new techniques, cooling, But guess what that will do? That will make the environmental disaster even worse on a larger scale. Because whenever you turn on an air conditioner, whatever cooling it produces, it's producing even more heat and harmful chemicals into the air. So where do we go from here? That's something that I'm hoping DTM Sudarshan will be expounding upon. We don't have a language evaluator for today. I will be your timer. So please keep an eye on my window. And without further ado, let me introduce our keynote speaker, DTM Sudarshan, one of the charter members of this club, the inventor of our modular evaluation method, and also a finance professional, but like most of us, a geek and having an interest in almost anything and everything, and not only having an interest but being knowledgeable about it. So, DTM Sudarshan, I've pegged your keynote at 15 minutes, but do specify if you have a different desired time in mind. And I
No, 15 minutes is sufficient.
All right. So the
Am I clearly audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Perfect.
So the keynote will be 15 minutes, which will be followed by a 5 to 10 minutes Q&A. So everyone, and sorry, before I'm just handing you the stage, but before that, I'd like to also expand upon the subsequent segments of the meeting as the Toastmaster of the day. After that, we'll have prepared speeches. There will be two prepared speeches, and we'll witness our modular evaluation of the same. After that, a Geek of the Week session where some aspect of daily life that requires technology or knowledge will be highlighted. And after that, we'll have our unique table topic session with its unique format. And finally, the journal evaluation session. So everyone, put your hands together for DTM Sudarshan. How green was my belly? How green was my belly? DTM Sudarshan.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Very recently, on a trip back to my hometown, I was casually chatting with a friend of mine when we decided to do what most men dread to go and buy vegetables. So we went down to the market and we were trying to buy green leafy vegetables. And as we were talking to the shopkeeper, the price he quoted shook me up completely. Because remember that I had left Mumbai about 20 years back when I moved to Dubai. And when I left Mumbai, a bunch of green leafy vegetables used to cost us about 1 rupee 50 paise or 2 rupees at best. That afternoon, this gentleman quoted a price of 85 rupees. I quickly did some mental mathematics and converted it to dirhams and said, "Oh, this looks like this is about 3 dirhams, 3 or 4 dirhams almost." And even in Dubai, I don't pay that kind of price. I was about to make a comment when the shopkeeper laughed at me and said, "You probably are still living in your dad's era. When you were young, these leaves used to come from across the railway tracks. Now it comes from 150 kilometers away." That was a very casual conversation, a conversation that took all of 4 minutes. At the end of it, we paid him the money, got the vegetables, came home to a delicious meal. All that done and dusted. Suddenly, a thought struck me. This megapolis called Mumbai had vegetables growing literally right next to the railway tracks. What happened? And that very day, for some strange reason, as I was flipping through the news channels, I saw that Paris is flooded. There was water everywhere, cars were floating, people were crying. As usual, governments were being berated. As usual, politicians were coming and making statements saying that other opposition party is the party to blame. We are the best people. We are the paragons of virtue, etc. The fact is, the common man was struggling. Now, let's look at it from your perspective and my perspective. A lot of you are from Karachi. Karachi has been inundated with water over the last 3 or 4 years. Every time it rains, moving from place A to place B is a life threatening activity. Same is true of Mumbai, same is true of London, same is true of New York, same is true of Paris. And you're talking to a person who lost his car in this city called Dubai, where it never rains. The one time it rained, my car got damaged so badly that it was written off by insurance. And when I put all of this together, the one thing that stuck me was when I was growing up, and I'm sure I can speak for Talha at least, if not for the rest of you. When we were growing up, our cities had trees, our cities had birds. In the morning, when you woke up, whether you were in an apartment, in a house, even in a hut or a jhuggi, you had the sound of birds chirping, leaves rustling all around you. And generally, monsoon was a fixed period. You had rains from July till October, maybe October, but most likely September. You had at least 3 seasons. You had a summer, you had rains, you had winter. Now, you don't know which season you are in. It is uniformly hot through the year, and at some point, it rains and rains like crazy, and water doesn't seem to go anywhere. The city has invested billions of dollars in trying to create drainages, in trying to create infrastructure, but nothing seems to work. Why? And the answer to these questions, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing but rampant, rapid urban desertification. In the past, most people would say desertification happens in rural areas. Why? Because trees are being cut down to create farms, and therefore, these farms, after 5, 10, 15 years, just become completely barren lands and become deserts. But nobody would talk about cities. But let's examine a few facts as we stand today. In most big cities of the world, there is one major change that is taking place, which is the influx of pigeons. Pigeons are birds which infest urban areas because they have lived with man from time immemorial. But when pigeons infest, the one bird that immediately disappears is the sparrow. And the sparrow is critical because sparrow is the one bird which eats small insects, bugs, ants, etc., and keeps the surroundings cleaner and healthier. And this is one example. The second example that you will all appreciate is the fact that today, when we get into our homes, and as Talha mentioned, switch on our air conditioning, it is imperative. You cannot survive without it. Now, cast your minds back to about, even not very far back, just 1985, 1990. Even at the peak of summer, you could go to the rooftop of your building, pour a few buckets of water on the concrete floor, open your chatai, and go to sleep. You could actually sleep out in the open. Can you imagine doing that today? Why is this happening? What is the root cause of this? The root causes are very simple. We humans, in our quest to find an anchor to our lives, have put our blood, sweat, and tears into making that dream house of ours. Talha wants a house, Sudarshan wants a house, Latif wants a house, Kausar wants a house. We all go and buy houses in buildings and towers. These towers are constructed of what? Concrete, aluminum, glass. These elements are natural absorbents of heat. When they absorb heat, you need to cool the place down, which means you will plonk an air conditioner on top of it. So you have first of all destroyed the land on which trees were growing. There were lakes, there were ponds, there were rivulets in the city, which have all been consumed to construct. Now, the construction itself is so harsh on the environment that it is multiplying the effect of what humans are doing to the city. Then, on top of it, we fix an air conditioner which releases freon gas rampantly, and the dripping water that comes out of it is toxic. If you don't believe me, just park your car under a dripping air conditioner. When you come back, you will need to spend 20,000 rupees, Indian or Pakistani, to get your car painted because that water is that toxic. Now, this water is going and getting accumulated in your drains. Your drains are not draining into the ocean. And if they do, they're killing the biodiversity in the oceans. But otherwise, it is clogging the city. On top of it, in the quest for convenience, in the quest for ease of life, what did we do? We have all become rampant and rabid customers of plastic. Where does this plastic go after use? It goes into your garbage, it goes into your city dumps, it goes into the underground sewer systems of the city, it goes into every living being in that city in the form of microplastics. Now, these are elements which are essential for life. If somebody comes and tells you tomorrow, do not use plastic, the only thing you should tell that person is you've gone mad. Because without plastic, you and I cannot survive. Without air conditioning, you and I cannot live. Without your car or my car, we are rendered immobile. So to tell people that you individually should contribute towards the environment is like saying, I will give you a matchstick and go and measure the size of the football ground. You cannot do it. And if you try to do it, you will go wrong 100 times. Finally, you will give up and light the matchstick and set fire to the garden if possible. That is what will happen. The fact is, we have brought ourselves to the edge of the cliff. And now, as the saying goes in Urdu, na khate banta hai, na nigalte banta hai. It is stuck in your mouth and you cannot do anything about it. And this is a situation which is causing rapid urban desertification of pretty much every big city in the world, because the city is expanding like an amoeba in all directions. You consume every visible and invisible part of land. A city like Dubai, where I stay, they are literally expanding into the ocean. They are pouring sand into the ocean and creating a megapolis. Cities that we all originate from in India, in Pakistan, in other countries, rivers, lakes, ponds are getting filled up to construct. What is the result? Every few years you realize and you hear a brand new building is now the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Why? Because the foundation has become weak. The other thing that you will notice very commonly, when your aircraft is coming into land, into any of these big cities, you will find miles and miles of brownness. Very rarely will you see the city is green. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another example of what desertification is all about. Now, this is clearly something that we need to understand, appreciate, accept, and probably act upon. Can we do it? Is it possible? The answer is yes, to a small extent, because these are urban crises which need to be addressed by the authorities themselves. However, you and I can contribute in a small manner. There are initiatives that people take which enable cooling down of your environments. What do you do? In the apartment complexes, in the buildings, in the areas that you live in, even if you just plant a few plants in a few pots, it automatically enlivens the place, but it contributes to a micro reduction of temperatures. Then there are opportunities like urban forestification. What does that mean? There are organizations and agencies which will come and help you create a balcony garden, a rooftop garden, or a garden around your apartment, which literally grows like a forest. And when you do that, it brings in birds, it brings in insects, it retains water, it enables and enhances you to reduce your dependency on air conditioning. Now, this is possible to do. It may sound utopian, but it is possible, not very expensive, and it is something that you can do with your own resources. But these are slightly far-fetched, if I may say so. The most realistic solutions that you and I can deploy. Number one, when you leave your home, carry a bottle of water with you. Carry a steel bottle of water with you. Even if it is a 1 liter bottle, carry that bottle of water and refill it. Why am I saying that? One of the most common things that most middle class people do is they go and buy bottles of water. This is perpetrating the same problem, because to get you that one bottle of water, somebody is drilling, somebody is taking the groundwater out, putting it in a plastic bottle, selling it back to you, and in the process, depleting your ground of water, creating more plastic waste, and of course, hitting your wallet where it shouldn't be. Best thing to do, carry your own bottle of water. Second, our grandparents typically used to store water to make it cool. What do we do? Plonk it in the fridge, take it out with a cube of ice or two, and enjoy a cool, refreshing drink. However, a clay pot does exactly that. It looks aesthetically beautiful, your home looks eco friendly, and it is a step backwards in time to move forward. Clay is abundantly available and easy to manage, easy to manufacture. And if the clay pot breaks, all you need to do is to yell at your kid for 15 minutes, go out and buy a new one for 50 rupees or 100 rupees. And it really makes a lot of sense. Third, in our areas, there is a lot of wastage of water. It can be easily recycled. Each of us, wherever we stay, there will be a park, there will be a garden. Make sure that if the pipelines can be connected, water gets collected there and spread into the soil. Because once groundwater gets replenished, growth of greenery happens. And as greenery happens, temperatures come down. These are some small tricks that we can adopt. But the larger onus on all of us is to create pressure on our authorities all around us. People that are responsible for your life and my life need to be held to account, need to be asked these difficult questions, whether it is at your ward level, whether it is at your district level, whether it is at your state level, whether it is at your national level. These questions need to be asked. And that is our right. That is our responsibility. Because guess what? You and I will perish and become a part of the desert in a few years from now. Our children, and their children's children are the ones who are going to bear the real brunt of this. And if you don't believe me, there are ample number of research articles that you can go and read. And the one commodity that is going to become the most precious for all of us in less than 50 years, as what Tala mentioned in his opening talk, is going to be H2O, water, mai, pani. It is going to be scarce. It is going to become unavailable. World wars will be fought for access to water. And all of it is because we are choosing to convert our lives into an endless desert. It can stop. We need to stop it. The responsibility is here, now, and with all of us. Thank you for being a patient audience. I am willing to take questions now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Sudarshan. You have covered so much ground in a relatively short amount of time. So great, great. Anyone who has a question, please raise your hand or unmute yourself and go ahead. I would like to open with a question. DTM Sudarshan. You mentioned our urban architecture is one of the what you call a root of evil, because we like to live in big buildings. Big buildings are constructed out of mostly concrete, especially in subcontinent they are. Even in Middle East they are. So, is there any movement where more eco-friendly materials are used in construction, and they allow for they are less energy intensive?
So the greatest example is seen all across the Middle East. I'm sure Latif will agree with me, because even in Kuwait you will see the same kind of construction. There are old Arabic structures which were catering to the people's lifestyle without any form of air conditioning, because the houses were constructed of materials naturally available and in such a manner that it facilitated movement of air. The Barjil towers, which were on top of the houses, used to cool the houses and ensure that in the daytime the houses are cool, at night it does not dissipate the heat, so the houses are warm enough for people to stay inside. So the movement is there. It is sporadic, it is sparse, and currently terribly expensive. Pretty much like if you want to go and buy a kilo of chicken in the market, the supposedly organic chicken is going to cost you 2.5 times more than a factory produced chicken. Whereas it should be the other way around. The damn chicken was fed with insects and grains, which is naturally available. So which means organic should be cheaper, but somebody is making a quick buck. That being
Yeah.
said, the opportunity is there, but again, the pressure on governments to go that direction is far too low for anything to materially alter.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. You pointed out a very important factor, that even these so-called environmentally friendly solutions are actually just, most of them at least, are money-making scams.
Absolutely.
Especially organic. I mean, yes, somebody explained to me why organic food is more expensive, right? So, most apologies. So, Welcome, Toastmaster Aisha Lodi. And okay, who else has a question?
They either completely agree with me or it all went way over there.
Yeah,
Yes,
Latif has a
Toastmaster
question.
Latif.
Latif has a question.
DTM Sudarshan, I have a question, but it's a question. I don't know how to say it. Like many countries, many countries I have seen that they join a sustainability program, that 2050 vision, 2050 vision. They advertise so much, but in the same country, I'm talking about Saudi Arabia as of now. In the same country where there is plastics available for the pilgrims, like just drink and throw it.
Yes.
And what I was thinking when I was there, like on the logo, on the visa which I got, it says sustainability 2020, 2040 or 2050. But when I went there, it was all plastics over there. So what is the sustainability? And it doesn't portray what you are showcasing on the visa and what we are seeing.
Which is true, which is very true. It's a very, very important point you have raised. It's a point on which we all joke, but the fact of the matter is, this is the ground reality. People talk a lot about sustainability, but being truly sustainable takes effort, takes organized effort, and unfortunately, that effort will directly impact certain sections of the society very adversely. The same evidence can be given in your country and in my country. There are rivers which used to flow 12 months of the year. Now they don't. Simply because somebody wanted the sand from the beds of the river to construct buildings and apartments. The same people will have big boards in their factories and offices saying we run a 100% sustainable factory. यार आपकी फैक्ट्री सस्टेनेबल हो सकती है लेकिन आपने जो नुकसान कर दिया है ना उसका भरपाई कोई नहीं कर सकता. That is the fact, and that unfortunately is at a governmental level not being addressed aggressively enough. And when somebody tries to do something, they are shunned away, saying you're trying to take us to the Stone Age or whatever. We are getting there, but we are getting there very fast. Instead of that, if we take the scenic route, hopefully we will all live a slightly slower paced life, but for slightly longer period with a lot more greenery all around us. It can only be wished, but I'm not sure if it is going to happen.
Great. Thank you so much, DTM Sudarshan. Once again, one thing keeps surfacing, that commercial interests trump everything else, right?
Absolutely.
And only recently I was reading about a great oil and gas discovery in Pakistan, also elsewhere. And I said to myself that as long as we keep discovering these reserves, we will never ever move to a sustainable energy source. That's what's happening. I mean, nobody has a real solution. Any further questions? Okay, if not, we can move on to the next segment, and that is, of course, the prepared speeches. Our first prepared speech is actually quite a special one, and it is a humorous contest speech. It is a recording from our charter member, DTM Swarna, and she's asked for some specific feedback. So what we'll do is that instead of sticking to the conventional evaluation structure, I will play the speech first, and then we will take turns to record our feedback for DTM Swarna. She is specially requested to provide her with a stronger conclusion. Let me read out her message. I need your help to give me a powerful closing to the speech with lots of laughter. Most of the other contestants in district are having physical humor. I wonder how to add that into mine. And do help me with feedback that you can get me on the podium. Thanks. Okay, so we are supposed to look out for two things. First of all, look out for a more powerful and funnier conclusion. And secondly, if physical humor needs to be added, and if so, how? So we'll conduct a panel discussion, mini panel discussion immediately after the speech, 2 minutes each, and we'll go around the room. So now put your hands together for DTM Swarna Kalyan. The correct spelling of life. The correct spelling of life, DTM Swarna. And let me know, unmute yourself and let me know if you cannot hear once it starts playing, because I won't be able to see the messages.
Swarna Kalyan, the correct spelling of life. The correct spelling of life, Swarna Kalyan. Three months ago, my mentor said, Swarna, try humor. Me? I can laugh at any joke, even a bad one. But making others laugh is like asking, Siri, can you spell Mississippi without Wi-Fi? He said, don't worry. Just go on stage and start laughing. Ha 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 ha. And the audience will laugh. Do that for 5 minutes and your speech is done. I didn't have a topic. So I decided to use the most popular method these days. Not Google, not meditation, ChatGPT. I said, maybe I should talk about my husband. ChatGPT said, ha, that's a one-way road. You could win the contest, but lose your marriage. Men don't take humor about themselves too well. Office humor? No. HR will schedule you for communication improvement plans. So I had to choose a topic that will not get me divorced, nor demoted. That's when I remembered. Can I share a secret?
Sure.
Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and I have something in common. We are different. We struggle with spellings. Dyslexic. The difference is Mr. Lee Kuan Yew built Singapore and I built a long-term relationship with spell check. Contest Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and friends. Has anyone here struggled with spelling?
Always.
I have. As a kid, I used to come from school on Monday morning with 10 spellings, on Friday 10 grade marks. And teacher would say, Swarna, you have to practice. Seriously, I did practice. But every time I practice, the words change shape. And the only spelling bee that I can win is if the word is bee. When everyone chided me for my spelling, I was thinking, is it only my fault? Seriously, English language needs therapy. We say knife, not knife. If a letter has been silent for so many centuries, then we have words like island, debt, and the plumber. Words that stopped working but still get salary. And the classic Q. One sound, 5 letters. Is basically the letter Q followed by 4 silent followers, like government officials on Friday. And don't get me started on words that sound the same but spell different. A pair of socks. The pair is delicious. Hey, you're right. Turn right. Can you write your name? And my favorite. There. I once tried to do a sentence with all 3 and my teacher said, Swarna, English gave up halfway through. I thought, okay, I'm dyslexic. Maybe I can take help of technology. But technology can also be dyslexic. I once sent an email to my colleague Brian. Autocorrect changed it to Mr. Brain. And he replied, wow, Swarna, you have great insight. And another time, I changed my email to a crime scene. I said, please find the attacked file. And they replied, we were not expecting violence, just an attachment. My spelling mistakes are famous in Toastmasters too. I can see a few of you smiling. I'm sure you got my emails. But friends, just laughing it out was a way for me. It was not easy to be different. But then life taught me something deep. I found the correct spelling of life. L for laugh it out, because it makes you human and humble. I inspire others to be real. When you are being, nobody wants to connect with you because you're flawless, but because you're real. And F, find meaning in your mistakes. Every spelling mistakes, every stumble, life is teaching us something. And E, embrace your uniqueness. Today, I may be dyslexic, but I'm also delightful, determined, and dynamic. And that to me is the correct spelling of life. So I want all of you to spell life with me. L. I. V. E. Over to you.
All right. I hope everyone enjoyed this. So we'll have, as I said earlier, we'll have a round table of feedback. Who'd like to go first?
I'll start.
Okay, great. So let me put on a timer for table topics here for each bit of feedback. That even
Sure.
if you're not finished, we can come back to you after.
Yeah. I'll try and keep it to less than a minute. What stood out for me is the theme of the speech carried through right till the end. The humor was not over the top, very relatable, and something that can be practically impacting each and everyone in the audience. Her delivery style was very natural, not contrived, not Toastmaster like, so to speak, and that made it even more interesting. What I thought could be improved, stage movement, because she was moving but not purposefully. I think it needs to be a lot more structured. She needs to partition the stage in a correct manner. Second was in terms of the ask that she's had to bring in physical humor, I think she already has it. The LIVE at the end is perfect. It is not sickly sweet, nor is it bland. So she's got it nailed perfectly. But I think there is still some scope for extra time. I think the time taken was 6 minutes and something, if I'm not wrong.
I'll need to check that. But
Yeah. So barring that, I think this speech has got all the ingredients that it needs.
great, great. And yes, I also felt the same about stage movement. There have been better practice, but I also felt that maybe she must have not have seen the full stage beforehand. So what about you, Toastmaster?
I'm not the correct person for the humor, but for me, actually, what we practice in Toastmasters is all about know your sense of humor. So I feel that DTM Savarna has nailed everything on those lines. Yes, stand-up comedy is important when you are giving a humorous speech. Two things which I really want to add, and I'm just giving it a blunt response. One is the then. If she can make a story of that, like for example, so finally I gave up and wrote a letter to myself, and I found this, something which can be added to it. Other than that, I felt amazingly well delivered, good attempt. She had all the confidence. Only thing which is more important, explanation of life is not required. Instead of that, make a sentence of the then, and can be a little more humorous. I'm not sure how to work it out, but it's just one of the suggestions. Thank you.
Great, Toastmaster Latif. And you are quite humorous at times. So why do you say that you're not the right person?
No, sense of humor, and the humorous challenge is there. Yes.
That's true for all of us. Toastmaster Costa Lodi, would you like to comment?
Thank you, Toastmaster Dala. I like the way she selected this relatable topic because she's English speaking, as I can see, and she was able to make fun of her own language. This takes lots of courage. For humor, we say that if a person can laugh at herself, so then it's the real humor. It takes a real humorous person to do that. So she was able to enjoy that herself as well while she was making fun of the language thing. The second thing, that not only the topic was relatable, her body language was also relatable. She was performing like a common person. She wasn't trying to be above and beyond the audience. She was like part of the audience all the time. As the previous two Toastmasters said, what she could have improved by expanding these things, though she tried to at the end by giving examples of emails and autocorrect, but she could have stuck to the same theme which she carried from the beginning, like the homophones and different spellings, the silent spellings. So but that could have been this, she could have stick to the same theme throughout the speech instead of going converting to the autocorrect. Otherwise it was very, very enjoyable.
Yes, Toastmaster.
I just want to add, she used the word knife.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I would have said one more word can be added. Why knowledge is not knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe three words can be mentioned. The rule of threes.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
Even Kannor, even Kannor soup is, for us it is Kannor, but Germans use it nor. They kept it silent. Yeah. So it's a many thing.
Even
I
in
believe
India, it's or in Pakistan, it's Kanor. It reflects upon the relative sophistication
yeah.
that
No,
we had.
but I give my way of saying it because we have advertisement in Urdu. That's why they
Yeah.
say Kanor ka soup, Kanor ka sauce, aisa. Thank you.
Right.
Sorry, we deviated from that recording.
No worries.
I would also
Toastmasters,
like to add something. Toastmaster
please.
Tala, there's a huge poem on the net. It says English is a funny language.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it reminded me of that poem as well.
True, 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 true. Of course, it's a very famous poem, I think. And you know these idiosyncrasies of English are well known. Even there are Saturday Night Live skits entirely based around this. So yeah, it's a very well known topic, but she did manage to bring out examples that were not exactly very familiar. So to her credit, that would be one good thing. And Toastmaster Aisha Lodi, would you like to comment?
No, I'm actually rushing out at the moment. Sorry. I'm gonna leave in like a
Okay,
minute. Sorry
all right,
about that. Yeah.
all right. Toastmaster Tessin, all right. I think she's away. She told me that she would be away for a few minutes, so no worries. So I will go ahead now. First of all, the speech was humorous, so I don't think that Toastmasters would be. Gee, Latif, uh, can't hear you. Can't hear you. No.
Sir Habib, if you can ask him.
Okay. Okay. Guest, okay, great. Guest, Mr. Habib Dilshad, would you like to provide your feedback on the speech that you just heard?
Yes, the speech was so much luminous, and I enjoyed a lot sitting in office. But there are also so many words like Miss Kausar Lodi also pointed out knowledge, and Latif Saab also added knowledge and knife, like we also call this. And in some cases, we also add up like ch match. So e is a silent in that case also. So there are so many, and I enjoyed a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Habib. Great to have your take on the speech. I think it will also be helpful. So now, my take on the speech, first of all, stage movement was correctly pointed out. I don't think DTM Swarna needs to be concerned about the humor in her speech being funny, because it was indeed funny. It was very linguistic, intellectual. So personally, again, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think it lends itself very well to physical humor, if at all, because shoehorning some kind of physical humor to serve a topic like this would just sound forced and unnatural. Uh, only if there is a genuine opportunity for physical humor, like when you're describing a physical situation where you're slipping on something or where you're having a heated argument with something, uh, that could perhaps bring in physical conflicts. Perhaps, DTM Swarna, if you perhaps you can add a situation in your speech where you got into an argument with someone about a spelling that you thought right logically, but was completely different from what you perceived. And maybe that could bring in an opportunity for a dialogue, more open variety in physical situation, or any such situation. As far as the conclusion is concerned, I agree with the team's suggestion that the way you involved the audience with your conclusion was brilliant. Making them spell out life or life, and I don't think much more was needed in terms of adding humor because there was plenty of humor. I would certainly advise you to work on your stage, planned stage movement, because that was one glaring area that I noted. And also, I would appreciate not only did you bring humor with respect to the spellings itself, but another source of humor was your self-deprecating, where you highlighted your own spelling mistakes. One last tip, being a Toastmaster, and in Toastmasters, things work best when it comes to making you win speech contests, which is the three Ds: death, disease, and diverse. Thankfully, you avoided the divorce by in your speech you avoided that by actually opting for the other way. But the second D, the disease, perhaps if you mention your dyslexia as one of the reasons for your struggling with spelling, that would first of all put things into proper context and perhaps also create that little bit of more relatability. That would perhaps, again, think of that as one of the arrows in your quiver, right? You need to use everything that you have. So that would because listening to you and not knowing you, because I know that you have this, but someone listening to you would perhaps think that she speaks too well for someone who has spelling problems, right? So perhaps mentioning dyslexia earlier in the speech would perhaps be. So thank you so much once again, DTM Swarna. And we wish you, needless to say, we wish you all the best. We wish that you go all the way to the finals and make us proud. This club already has quite a few national champions, so would love to add your name to that. And also admire your spirit and courage going back into contests after so many years of district leadership. And believe me, I know how difficult that is. So now we have our second speech, Toastmaster Tessin Fatma. Toastmaster Tessin, are you there? Yes. So, yes. So now we need to rejuggle a little bit, and we need to actually assign the lead evaluation since our lead evaluator is not there. So perhaps DTM Sudarshan, would you like to take the lead on this particular evaluation? Great. So you are the lead evaluator, and it is entirely up to you whether you present your evaluation at the beginning or at the end. Let's construct the panel. Auditory is with Toastmaster Latif. Perceptible is with myself. Visual and okay, we can skip one of them, and we can just ask if Toastmaster Kausal Lodhi, would you like to be one of the commenters on structure and language? Is that okay with you? Just 1 minute feedback will be needed from you.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Yeah, actually, we are asking you to be one of the panel evaluators for this particular speech that is coming up. And I'm asking you to be the structure and language evaluator. Just 1 minute of feedback will be required.
Yeah, sure. I'm here.
All right. So, okay. So why not? Let's ask guest Habib. Are you up to provide a bit of feedback as well?
Regarding what?
The speech that is coming. Would you be able to comment on the visual aspects of that speech within 1 minute? And visual aspects include the speaker's expressions and body language.
Yeah, definitely I will do.
That's fantastic. So DTM Sudarshan, you have your evaluation panel. You are the lead evaluator. Auditory will be done by Toastmaster Steve. Visual by guest Habib. Perceptible by myself, and structure and language by Toastmaster Kausal. So over to you. DTM Sudarshan to introduce the project. I hope you've located the project details and the evaluation sheet.
I am doing it as we speak. Just give me a second.
Sure, absolutely.
Because old Father Murphy surfaces exactly at these times.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially when situations change and we
Yeah.
need to improvise.
So, quantum leap. So the speech is building social media presence. Am I right, Toastmaster Tessie?
Yes.
Perfect. So for the benefit of all the evaluators in this meeting, the purpose of this particular project is for the member to apply their understanding of social media to enhance an established or new social media presence. The purpose of the speech is also for the member to share some aspect of their experience while establishing or enhancing a social media presence. What is expected is for the member to have spent some time either building or creating a new social media presence and generate posts and interactions through that activity. And the member is expected to walk us through the experience and exposure that she gained over this period. All the very best to Toastmaster Tehsin Fatima. Over to you.
And needless to remind, the time is 5 to 7 minutes and not 5 to 14 minutes.
Yep.
I only heard 5 minutes. Okay. Who here strongly believes that fizzy drinks are harmful for health, but still drink them anyway? Oh, bingo! You are in my club. By the way, 7-Up or Coke? 7-Up. Another My Club Alliance. TikTok or YouTube? YouTube. Okay, that's the difference. I used to preach health, long lectures while sipping 7-Up and scrolling social media for hours just to look busy and do absolutely nothing. And then one fine day, karma, tuck, tuck, tuck. And the funniest twist was I was hired into the 7-Up's official digital team. And the first handle I took over was TikTok. A handle that even didn't exist to me before. I installed it the first time on my phone. And I hated it. At that time, my favorite question was, are we scrolling TikTok because we are bored? Or are we bored because we are scrolling TikTok? Because I hate the content. It was not even funny to me. It was cringe. To me at least. So, I always found TikTok to be the most ridiculous app in my phone. But then, the love triangle started. I studied TikTok like a bride family studies a potential groom. Within a month, I was in the game. Weekly calls with the MENA region team, brainstorming what's next, strategy, social media calendar, assets, captions, hashtags, this, that. And then the big move. At the end of that year, because it was almost the middle of November when this all happened. So in December, that is 3 years back from now, we launched Pakistan's first ever TikTok hashtag challenge. Hashtag Dil Ki Baat. Celebrity siblings shared their love and their messages and created a lot of content. And simultaneously, being the strategist and being the social media lead person of brands, in Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, we installed first time digital engaging live messages with the same hashtag challenge where people across the country were sending their messages to the siblings, to their loved ones, to their parents. It was something which we all have, most of us might have witnessed on the New Year Eve at Burj Khalifa, where our messages are going live. So it was almost the chorified idea, but it worked. And we broke Pepsi's Why Not Mary Jaan records in just 1 month of this challenge. We delivered 3.5x ROS from a brand newly launched account in this first attempt of us. Have you ever promised yourself last soft drink ever, and then after 4 hours later, another sip? I'm sure this is relatable to many of us because I have done it. Whenever I take tikka or any such, masala food, okay, this is the last time I'm having 7-Up. It is so spicy, it is so spicy. And then one more, please. And then next day, I have another excuse, and next day, then I have another excuse. And similarly, like that, Air 2 was just absolutely like that. We launched filters, user-generated challenges, top influencers were engaged, high media slots, and at the end of first official year of their challenge handles launch, from 0 to 1 million TikTok followers, leaving Pepsi behind in the story game. So yes, a person who hated fizzy drinks and mocked TikTok content delivered one of the region's strongest digital case, which is still on TikTok's website of the MENA and Pakistan both. My 2 cents here. Sometimes the subject that you dislike becomes the subject that defines your success. If you have to do it with a passion. Make it your first love, like I did, from fizz to fame. Over to you, the evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tessin. Truly a fizzy speech, I must say. Let's now look at how this speech went. Before I give my feedback, let's hear from the panelists. To do the honors, I would like to request the first panelist, Toastmaster Latif, to take the stage and give us his feedback. Over to you, Toastmaster Latif.
Okay. So thank you very much, DTM Sudarshan, for allowing me to go head first, because if I was after you, maybe you would have said everything. So I feel that little bit of what I understand with my experience, you have already done the project. How does it sound to me? It sounds me amazingly light-hearted speech with a lot of energy. So if you will say that you don't like it and then you shared your success, I feel that sometimes that breaks the energy of the audience. Make sure that you keep the energy level towards the hype only, so that they love it. Or if you say that you don't like it, then you have to say your struggle paths. You're not willing to do it, but you are trying to do it. So the magic, what you want was the work you were avoiding, something like this. So this is what I felt is a little bit can be more auditory, it can be more sound. Other than that, it was well presented, amazingly done. A little bit of fees and TikTok showcase would have made it much better. That's it. But hearing wise, it was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Latif. Well summarized. Let's now hear from DTM Talha. Am I right in the right order, DTM Talha? Or is
Yes.
it? Yeah. So could
Yeah,
you
it's
please take?
no, I think first we should go for the visual aspects for
Yeah.
guest Habib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guest Habib, if you can share with us what you saw. So we've heard from Toastmaster Latif what he heard. Now we want to understand from you what did you see on the screen, what did you like, and what would you like to see Toastmaster Tessin change? Over to you.
Yeah. Overall, the thing which I observed or seen is that Tehseen Fatma remained energetic in every aspect. And as mentioned, Latif Saab, that in some cases we have to remain energetic, and in some situations we have to act like that we are doing something forcefully, or we are disliking this. So at that, when we are disliking this, then there will be energy will be little bit low as compared to uh, other scene. And secondly, her focus was on the right side, sorry, left side. I think that was due to no audience in front of physical audience in front of her. So that's where she remained focused on one side. But in other way, if we audience are sitting in front of you, then there will be eye contact in every side, which is not a big deal. This could be improved, uh, and overall, that's from my side.
Excellent, excellent. Guest Habib, I think you're ready and right to become a Toastmaster and a master evaluator at that. Do not hesitate, contact DTM Talha right away and become a member of Quantum Leap. We will benefit from your skills. Thank you very much for
Inshallah.
doing
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
The next evaluator I would like to call upon is, should I call Kausar or would you like to go, DTM Talha?
Yeah, perceptible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
over to you.
thank you. As far as an audience member is concerned, first of all, we all feel slightly uncomfortable because fizzy drinks are our guilty pleasure. So perhaps you could have softened that blow by saying that, fizzy drinks in too much quantity are bad for you, but there's no harm in having one once in a while. So something like that, some sort of redeeming factor about the guilt of fizzy drinks. And that would also address the point mentioned by Toastmaster Latif that, you cannot claim to hate a product and then to champion it, right? So there's a fundamental contradiction here. Secretly, we all love physics, and if it were up to us, we would have. And yes, I am a Coke person through and through. So I absolutely loved your speech. I also loved your sense of energy and the fact that when you achieve success, you got to 1 million TikTok followers. I love the elevation in your voice and expression that came with it. So yeah, that is from my side. Over to you, Deepa.
Thank you very much. And now let's hear from Toastmaster Kausar.
Sure. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Latif. I was in charge of language and the structure. As far as the language and the diction and the vocabulary is concerned, she used almost all the vocabulary of Gen Z, including back into the game and names of, she named each and every present or current app on social media nowadays. She didn't miss anything. Then she started with the struggle she had, her dislikes, but then at the end there was a twist, and we all enjoyed that twist. But the thing is that the energy didn't twist. Only the structure of the language twisted. Like the energy she had from the beginning with the winning thing, with when she mentioned her victory, it should have gone over the roof, but rather it declined. So the energy wasn't backing the language structure in the end only. That was the only thing. As Habib and Latif, maybe they were mentioning the same thing when they talked about that the energy was not at the right place. So maybe it was the same thing or maybe not. But I realized the once you have a twist, there the energy should not be twisted with the twist in the language structure. Or rather, if you have to switch the energy, it should have rather go with the victory. She felt rather tired at the end while she was mentioning her 1 million TikTok subscriber. So other than that, the language and the structure was perfect.
Thank you very much. Now, as the lead evaluator, it's my honor and pleasure to evaluate this speech. I will start by saying "Dar ke aage jeet hai." That is not the line from your drink, but it is a line from another fizzy drink. And that stood out for me in this speech. What stands out in this speech, as much as the knowledge that our speaker has gleaned from social media, is the fact that this was an assignment that was as unexpected as unwanted. And Toastmaster Tehseen embraced the opportunity and not only delivered a fizzy punch, a punch that was resonating with 1 million people. And to me, that is success. And that is what she epitomized. Not just through the speech, but her facial expressions complemented the speech. Her words and the vocabulary that she deployed was appropriate for the speech and the content. And the knowledge that she carries with her with respect to what social media platforms are and what can they do and how to harness, that came through in bits and pieces. If you carefully read the objectives of the speech, it says the speaker needs to demonstrate to us how the speaker harnessed social media. The example was the 1 million subscribers, but how did they get there? It was touched upon briefly and left. Talked about celebrity siblings sharing their memories. Now, that is a tool that is used to enhance your presence over social media. How can I, as a individual member of Quantum Leap, if I want to up my game with respect to Quantum Leap social media game, what do I do? Those elements need to come through in the speech. And that can be the middle part or the body of the speech, which says, what are the tools? How do you do engagement farming? What is the way to control negative if feedback, if any? What is the way to enhance positive feedback? How do you transmute the properties of social media into real life and bring real life back into social media? Those are elements that you have done for sure, because the way the speaker spoke about it, 100% there has been on ground engagement. 100% there would have been colleges and universities where she would have gone and asked people to wear green and white and walk around as bottles of the fizzy drink that she was promoting. And these could be incorporated as learnings or gleanings from what it takes to take social media into real life and how real life comes back into social media. All in all, I would like to end by saying definitely डर के आगे जीत है, which is exemplified by the speaker. The one thing which will stand out for me is the smile that the speaker had throughout the speech. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes a lot of courage to do that. And it was evident that she is deeply passionate, highly accomplished, and truly a master of this domain. And we were privileged to hear someone that was of that quality coming to us and telling us how to up our own individual social media games. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tehseen. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, the respected panelists. And Toastmaster Tessie, now your turn for the feedback on the feedback. 1 minute.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. I would like to make a great huge round of applause to all the panelists who have contributed and invested, listening to my speech and bringing the pieces which I have ignored. And the entire piece of and every piece of the feedback is as valuable to me. And I will definitely incorporate it, and I'll re-listen this entire recording and incorporate it as I always do. Toastmaster Dhala knows it. And for the details which lead evaluator has asked. Actually, the point is that in one of my speeches, I did that, I tried that, but it crossed the time. And in 5 to 7 minutes, it is such an impossible thing. I'm a digital person. I am in this career since more than a decade, and I know there are a lot of things. And once we start speaking about it, there's so much. What I can do is that I can take some time, a keynote slot, and do something regarding it so we all can enjoy it. But overall, I'm so grateful to all 4 or 5 of you who has invested time and in guiding me. Thank you very much.
Wow. Talk about
Yes,
two
yes,
birds with one.
Toastmaster Latif, go ahead.
I want to say this. It is not impossible to complete in 7 minutes. I'm telling you.
I will agree with that. I will agree
Yeah.
with that completely. If you use visual aids, if you use a backdrop of some sort, you can complete it within 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge I will give you. It is possible.
Yeah, only pick up 3 things. One is your reluctant, then your struggles, and your success. You'll be there.
Well, first of all, impressive job, Tehseen, for today, sticking not only managing the time, but managing time very well. So let's not take away from that everyone else, because over the past, and there was a reason I made that small jibe about the duration, because for the past two or three times, Toastmaster Tehseen exceeded her time. And yes, it's always a struggle. Because you know what? Again, playing the devil's advocate, no one in real life actually asks you to speak for 5 to 7 minutes, right? You are allotted at least 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Secondly, if she had done the visual aids part and everything, perhaps we would have been the ones complaining that, there was too much data to process and your slides had too much data crammed into them and you did not talk about that data. So it's a slippery slope. And yes, I agree with both of you, though, that it is possible to do it in 5 to 7 minutes, but then you have to omit certain aspects that you really, really wish to get across. So I think we end up killing so many birds with one stone because I'm taking the liberty of booking you for our next keynote Toastmaster session. You can expand on this campaign, especially the scientific aspects that you guys use to attract customers and the metrics that we use. That would make it a perfect fit for Quantum Leap because, of course, marketing is also a science and we need to learn about it, as Indian Sudarshan also alluded, for this club, for all clubs as well. So moving on now to our next segment, which is Geek of the Week. It is someone that you may have seen earlier, and it is someone whom I see every day. So I would once again sharing the video, and yeah.
Junior TBH.
Are they lying? Well, yes, but not always. Maybe people remember it differently. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today I am going to talk about some strange phenomenon which I don't think even scientists have answered. That why do we experience placebo effects? Why do we experience deja vu? Why do we experience Mandela effect? I don't think this topic gets talked about enough. For example, if I tell you guys that the guy you see on your Monopoly board game never had a spectacle to begin with, how many of you would be shocked? Yes, exactly. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, conspiracy theorists say this is because since the coronavirus, we have shifted into a different universe. Now, I'm not one of those guys. I don't think that's the case. But I do think something strange is at play here, which we don't really know about. And this transcends everything, even science. Even when we know that when we press the elevator button multiple times, nothing is going to change. We still do so. Why? Call it human psychology, call it our urge. We just do it. This is one thing that transcends everything, even science, even facts. I think this is very interesting, fellow Toastmaster and guests, because when we differentiate between us, humans, and animals, we say that we have feelings, we have free will, they don't. Well, but we also have this strange urge, this strange quality of remembering events differently, of our brain trying to scramble the reality. I don't think any animal does that. And I think that's a topic worth talking about more often. So, fellow Toastmaster and guests, when someone, be it anyone, tells you something regarding an event which you both experienced, but once again, you remember it differently, they remember it differently, it doesn't always mean that they're lying. Maybe they are saying that, maybe they don't remember the same version of the event as you. So, Toastmasters, we are humans, and feelings are not the only things that make us unique from animals. This is one of those things, too. And fellow Toastmaster and guests, the reason I wanted to talk about this topic today is because I'm very interested in this topic, but I don't see enough people talking about it. So that's why, basically, I wanted to talk about it. That's enough.
All right. Thank you, Cavalier Asundya. And a very interesting topic, I must say. I think he combined two different things in 3.5 minutes, the Mandela effect and the placebo effect. How many times have you seen people waiting for the elevator? They want to go down and they press the down button, but when the elevator is taking long, they press the up button as well. I've seen that every day. And yeah. And for some reason, they seem to think that, this will somehow accelerate the elevator, although it ends up slowing down the elevator for everyone because it will needlessly stop now. Even if there's nobody to go up, it will stop anyhow. Don't get me started on that. There's so many anti-social and idiotic behaviors. And I would like to add to what Gavilia Asfandia said, that one more difference between animals and humans is that animals don't do stupid things. Humans do. So now it's time for our table topic session, and over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Talab and Hamid. So are we having the same way? I will give the topic, the second person will evaluate and the cycle will run. Okay, good. So let us start with Toastmaster Tessim. Okay. So I have a few topics already selected. Toastmaster Tessim, everything good in life takes time. Everything good in life takes time.
Everything good in life takes time. That's a beautiful phrase and the reality of all humans living on this planet. And I myself resonate with this reality nearly a million times in my life. Because since my childhood, as I was given a princess treatment, whatever I wanted, a doll, a chocolate, or anything, in no seconds it was presented to me. But as I grew up and as I got mature, which I hate actually, now At this stage of life, I always wanted to be that 2, 3 year old kid. I don't want it to grow up. Because as we mature, as we get mature, as we get old, we have to be patient, have to learn the wisdom, and we have to rely on the destiny that everything takes its time. And the good things usually take a bit of more time to happen. I wanted to be the top scorer of my school, but in all 10 years, I wasn't. But in university, in third and fourth year, I was, where I never imagined that I will be the topper of the entire province. Similarly, for my trip to Dubai, it was just a holiday trip for a month, and it turned to be a 4 year professional learning. Of course, I got a lot of tough time there as well. But every good thing takes time. And this is the reality. And this is the promise of our Lord as well. That trust the process, let things happen. And one day, I will not give you what you are asking for. I will give you what you deserve, and it will be much more higher than what you have ever dreamt of. Over to you, Table Topic Master. You're mute.
DTM Sudarshan, please.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to evaluate or?
Yeah,
Evaluate
your
for
speech
30
and give you
seconds, and
time.
then you'll earn your topic.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Tala? You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. Evaluate the previous speaker for 30 seconds or so, and then you'll get your topic.
Okay, cool. Good things in life takes time. So said Toastmaster Tessie. Not only did she speak about her own personal examples, which is a very difficult task to perform in a table topic session, she also wove it back to the philosophical aspects of why waiting for things to happen while trusting the process is the right thing to do. I thought she dealt with the topic head on and came out with a very meaningful, coherent speech which had a crisp opening, a robust body, and a compelling closing. So, all in all, I think from a technique and performance perspective, this speech should score a 10 on 10.
Thank you, DTM Sudarshan. Your topic.
Mhm.
Love isn't about showing off. It's about showing up. Love is not about showing off. It's about showing up. DTM Sudarshan.
There was a boss of mine who said, love and performance are deeply intertwined, to be kept to yourself and demonstrated only through results. I completely endorse with that viewpoint and the question that is being posed to me. Love is all about showing up. Showing off is for somebody else. Love is a deeply internal feeling, and that's why in Urdu the word for love is ishq. And ishq is transcending physical, it transcends spiritual, it is in the metaphysical realm. And if that is love, that is expressed through doing, that is expressed by being, that is expressed by feeling. And none of these three can be done for the benefit of the audience. Therefore, I entirely accept that love is all about being there and doing the deeds and delivering it for the benefit of someone. As a parent, as a friend, as a colleague, as a human, as a citizen, we display our love not by putting emblems on our chest, not by wearing a cape and a mask and going around crusading. We demonstrate it by our subtle acts. Whether it's a pat on the back or a smile on the face or just picking up the garbage and putting it in the bin. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the truest expression of feeling and being that love that you want for yourself, because what you want for yourself is what you give out to the world. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all about the doing and not the showing. Therefore, the showing of love is for fools. The doing of love is what will make your love stay relevant. Thank you.
DTM Tala.
Okay. Yeah. I was kind of, lost after listening to PTM's version. How was that not a prepared speech, PTM's version? It was so poetic. And not only it had a poetic cadence, but you sounded really contemplative and really creative. I think this was the perfect way to go about this topic. And full marks for you. Again, I have no comments other than it was inspiring. You alluded to the Urdu word for love as well, which gives a good example of connecting with the audience. But at the same time, you use this to make a meaningful connection to your content. I just think that towards the end, the speech could have used a little more elevation in your vocal expressiveness as you got more and more into the speech. Other than that, absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Talha. Habib, are you aware now what is going on?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I will share my topic to DTM Talha, and you will give a feedback of 30 seconds, and then I will give you a new topic for you to speak. Correct?
Okay.
All
Okay.
good?
Okay, I'll do.
DTM Talha, your topic. School says, don't copy. Life says, learn from the best. School says, don't copy. Life says, learn from the best. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters. Of course, our life is full of contradictions like that. And you know, the one lesson that I take away from these contradictions is this: do not believe blindly whatever idiom, homily, or simile, or any quote that you read. Because, first of all, if you try to live up your life by all of them, you will end up in nothing but confusion. And secondly, if I were to address your particular contradiction directly, it would be that learning from the best does not mean emulating. Learning from the best can also mean not repeating their mistakes. Learning from the best can also mean avoiding some of the things that they do. For example, if we look at the examples that we are taught, we have been taught about these examples for the past 2 decades. People like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Welch, Bill Gates. Do you know what is one thing that is common among these people? They're horrible human beings. Have you read their biographies? And so we teach our children, our business school students, to go blindly after everything that they did. And then we wonder, why is the world so broken? It is because of these people. Because our youngsters not only follow the business acumen of these individuals, they also try to follow their personal examples. Jeff Welch is notorious for brushing aside his competition ruthlessly. And we all know Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, right? So let's try not to copy. That is my advice. Let's try to carve our own path. Over to you, tabletop experts.
I want to say something, but not now. Habib, please share your views.
Yes. Uh, Overall, the content was good and speech delivered very well. But the topic is relating to the school sales, door copy, and live sale, learn from the best. So we can learn from the worst also. Worst is also an experience that taught us so many things to avoid in the future. So this is the main thing. It is not perfectly. I can't say perfectly. It's to learn from the best. We can also learn from the bad things, bad incidents, even from our society. We can seek guidance from there also. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Right, rightly said, DTM Tala. Yes. So, DTM Tala, you wanted to conclude saying the school is right.
Yes. If I were to choose between the two, I would say that
school is right.
If I were
Okay.
forced to choose. Yeah.
Yes. So, Toastmaster Tehsin, you will be evaluating at the end for Habib's speech. Habib, can we see you for a second or for a minute or two, something like that? Or
Yeah, I try. There is internet connectivity issue, signals. So I'm trying.
We can see you.
Yeah.
It's working. Great. First, because I appreciate your presence for the
Thank
entire
you.
meeting.
Thank you.
That is
Thank you. Thank you.
I thought too. Okay, so your topic is everything you want is on the other side of something hard.
Yeah.
Everything you want is on the other side of something hard. Over to you.
Yeah, everything that I want is on the something on other side on the heart. Let's. I put this in my personal example. Uh, I completed my master degree in 2005 and started job in a company. After 2 to 3 years, I realized that if I want to go to the managerial level, definitely I have to get my professional qualification. So I asked to my manager to transfer me in Lahore. I shifted from RYK to Lahore. With job, I completed my professional qualification like cost and management accountant. During this time, I faced so many challenges with job completion of professional qualification was a very difficult that cost me so much in terms of my family, my marital life, my children's growing up, etc., etc. But after completion of this qualification, I get the desired results that I planned during 2008-9. So I am happy, Alhamdulillah. That's it from my side. Thank you so much.
Okay, Habib Dilshad, I would love to call you soon to be Toastmaster Habib Dilshad. And now again, I totally agree with Toastmaster Sudarsh that you are absolutely ready to join Toastmasters. You are not a beginner. You have already passed that through. Your facial expression, how you started your speech by repeating the topic, which is the one of the tips we get from our mentors, how you related the topic with your personal life, the examples you quoted, and how comfortable and confident and in ease you were while you were speaking. These are the attributes which Toastmasters actually polished in ourselves. So it was over a wonderful speech. I have just 2 cents for you. One, I already quoted that join Toastmasters ASAP. So you will be a polished version of yourself. And this is coming from a person who actually joined Toastmasters 7, 8 months back. And I was just like you. And now I am much better version. Still, I have a lot to learn, but I'm telling you from the core of my heart. And the only thing which I would recommend you to improve while you speak to any Toastmaster meeting or anywhere is that I would love you to have to maintain eye contact with your audience, because the way you speak is so confident and is so full of positivity that your audience would love to engage with you. Thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I completely agree with Toastmaster Tehseen, and of course, DTM Sudarshan is he can find the gem from wherever he sees it. Something I see something in you. So that was your call.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Al.
DTM Sudarshan, you're muted. Up mute, sir.
Sorry. I was saying I see a lot of things in him, including a little bit of Javed Miata.
Thank you so much, sir.
Habib, now you have to hit that 6. Chale, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was an amazing time. My topics were not something from my own choice. It's a book which I recently purchased. It says Beyond the Syllabus, and it has a lot of little topics. It's by Ankur Warikoo, something, this is the name.
Yeah.
He's when phone comes now, you get diverted, and especially when if it's a wife. He runs a YouTube channel also where it says money matters, and that's what it is. Thank you. Over to you, DTM Tala.
Thank you so much. So everyone, we are now winding up the meeting, and we traditionally have a journal evaluation session here at this point, but for some reason our GE did not join. So as is our tradition, in lieu of journal evaluation, we then just take guest comments. So in today's meeting, we only had 2 guests. So one by one, we'll go and take your comments on the meeting. First of all, guest Habib Dilshad. And in the meantime, please vote, everyone.
Yes, thank you for providing this opportunity. Actually, I joined this club. I attended a meeting last week or the 2 weeks before. I enjoyed a lot at that time, but actually, I'm not part of any club. I just got a message from someone, and he told me that today the meeting is going to be conducted. So I joined this, and I learned a lot of things, and especially positive response from all of you is an encouragement for me. So I hope it will be benefit for me and as well as our upcoming members, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Habib. Now over to you, Toastmaster Habib.
If someone who does not know me is only Habib, so amazing meeting. I really loved it. I really liked the challenge of DTM Savarna to present her speech and listen. But I would have loved if she would have been present, so that it would have added more value, or maybe we would have heard her comments also. Other than that, that's the only reason I choose Tehseen for the speech, because she stayed for a longer duration during her speech. Thank you very much once again. I love the presence of Toastmasters and its learning. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Habib. And this brings the meeting to an end. So announcing the results, Toastmaster Tehseen is the winner of today's Best Speaker contest for perhaps 2 reasons. First of all, she qualified, and secondly, she's actually there to vote. But no, we all know our members to be very objective. So congratulations, Toastmaster Tehseen, for winning this. And in terms of lead evaluator, there's only one lead evaluator, DTM Sudarshan. So congratulations, you have won. And I'm not holding a vote for the best. Okay, I will hold a vote for the best topic. And let's see how that goes. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Latif, for conducting such an amazing table topic session. Although I would return your own advice to you. Do not remove the magic curtain and show us the wheel spinning behind the magic that you're creating. There was no need to show that. Come on. And that also disqualifies you because your content needs to be original. Thank God it was not.
No, but he was a topics master, so it's okay. He can plagiarize topics.
No, but
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Toastmasters we have to disclose, right? Or we have to give credit to something where we have taken from.
No, but the topics and the source
Yeah.
from where you took the topics were good.
Yes, of course, no doubt about that. And everyone, please vote for the best table topic speaker. And in the meantime, a bit of business. We are supposed to have our 3 contests this month, and as recommended by the area director, because the area contests are at the end of December. Now we are in kind of a fix here because there are 3 people who can feasibly participate due to the fact that area contests will take place in Karachi. And there are 3 members of Content Team currently who are in Karachi. But nevertheless, we plan to hold a contest in the next meeting, so 2 weeks. And again, at the club level, any member and every member can participate. So hereby I announce that the plan, of course, this needs consent from our president and Youth Education, but the plan was to have both tall tales and provisional speech contests in one go in perhaps the next meeting, or at least one of these contests in the next meeting. So everyone, please note, and we'd love for you to participate. We cannot change the stupid rules introduced by Toastmasters. Oh, this is being important. Anyhow, no worries. I don't have any application pending with Toastmasters where they've somehow limited area and onwards contests to just the physical participants. I believe this, let it be said, I believe this kills diversity. This kills the idea of global clubs. And this takes us back 20 years. So anyhow, so with this, let us announce the winner for the best table topics. Best table topic today goes to guest Dilshad. Congratulations.
Thank you.
With that, the meeting is formally ended. Yes, Toastmaster, go ahead.
I would like to be the contest chair.
Wow.
No, you should be participating. Don't escape. Be a participant.
Karachi Toastmasters.
Yeah, I know. You have the option to go to Karachi for 1 weekend.
Sorry, Toastmaster Latif, you cannot be, because according to the further stupider rules introduced, if you are chairing or a contest official in one type of contest anywhere on the planet, you cannot compete in that type of contest. But I'll review the rules and just let me know which contest do you plan to participate in from KTC, all 3?
No, tall tales, no.
Why?
Just the tall tales.
Yeah, tall tales, I will not participate.
Why?
Okay, tall tales. Okay, yeah, why? That's a valid question. Why?
झूठ नहीं बोला जाता.
झूठ किसने कहा है बोलने को? ज्यादा बोलना है, झूठ नहीं बोलना.
Okay, never mind.
I'm not participating from KTC. Please do.
Yeah. So anyhow, so okay, then we can consider, if you confirm, we can consider you for chairing the contest. And thank you, Toastmaster Kumar Tarachan. Unfortunately, the meeting is just ending, but it was a pleasure having you. Everyone, see you all in 2